We're going to reconvene to open session and call to order at 6:01. And to report that Board Member Galindo is calling in from Kalamazoo, Michigan. So he is present. I'd like to report there was nothing to report in closed session, and this is an attendance roll call. Clerk Elkishan. Here. Trustee Lopez. Here. Trustee Reed. Here. Trustee Galindo. Here. Student rep. And President Maxwell is here. If you would all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And that means you, Mark. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Looking, any changes to the agenda? Looking for a motion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Number 9, district mission statement. We are a collaborative, culturally rich educational community where a rigorous and innovative curriculum prepares our students to be successful contributors to our global society. And moving on to item 10, this is something new for us. 10.1, the Board of Education recognizes students, employees, or members of the community who have received recognition for academic or athletic achievement, who have made significant contribution of any kind to the district. The following individual will be recognized. Mr. Bob Dakota, community member for his outstanding work in planning, hosting, and funding the Rotary Scholarship Dinner. Mr. Dakota, if you please take the stand and take the podium for a second, please. So, would you just for a second, would you briefly just explain what you did last Wednesday night for us?
Well, for a number of years, either through Rotary and CEF and whatever, I've always really focused on trying to raise funds for scholarships for Calistoga High School students. And this was the third annual scholarship dinner. It was $100 per person. I cooperated with the restaurant, and all $4,000 collected goes toward scholarships for the high school. So this is our third annual, and before that, under CEF and whatever other organization or individually, I really thought that the education of our young people is absolutely essential to their growth and to my well-being as a member of the community. So, Caitlin and Jenna at Calistoga Kitchen, you can't miss it next year. She said, you know, I think we can go to 50 people. And I said, great, maybe we can raise the price to 150. But we can go to 50 people, and so everybody, I think, had a great time. And for $100 a person, they got a great meal, great wines, and they also contributed toward the Rotary Scholarship contribution to the high school. So I'm very pleased to be able to do that and extend it however I can.
Well, we'd like to congratulate you. Here we go.
Do I have to hang it up somewhere?
Yes, you do. Congratulations, you are our first. Okay, thanks, Uncle Bob.
Thank you. I have another scholarship dinner to go to, so I'm going to
Thanks, Bob. So what that actually is called the Robert Dakota Scholarship, and what it is it's $4,000 to a high school student for $1,000 for each of 4 years they attend school. So it's a pretty neat deal. So thanks, Uncle Bob. All right. Okay, moving on, 11.0, public comments. Any white cards? I guess I could have got that. All right, Julie and Ellie, would you like to step up to the podium?
Hello, my name is Julie Garcia. I'm the current elect president, and I'm here because I hear from so many parents that they're very concerned about their kids, that they're not doing really good at school, and they're concerned about the tutoring program. And you know, our group ELAC last year did an event, and we raised some money, and we're pretending to use that money for tutoring. So I brought that last year to the principals, you know, an idea, but I'm here to see if I can have the support from all of you, you know, creating a tutoring program. So as a parent, I'm really, you know, concerned about so many of our kids, that they're really doing really bad, and parents are getting frustrated, you know, not knowing how to help. You know, we know that school and staff is short, so they don't have extra tutoring program. So I'm here to see if there's something we can create with our kids, and a lot of parents are willing to help. And I told you we raised some money last year, so we're willing to use it. And on our next dance, you know, we're gonna increase the amount. So we're willing to work together and create a good plan, effective plan for all our kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would just like to add that I was actually at the ELAC meeting last week. And, you know, I've come here and I've talked a couple times before about parents who feel like their kids' needs, whether they're remedial or advanced, they feel like their kids' needs aren't necessarily being met. And they're leaving our district. And at this ELAC meeting, there was a Spanish-speaking mother with a, well, when she speaks, she's bilingual, a bilingual mother with an English learner child who is talking about leaving our school district because she feels like her child's needs aren't being met. And so I know that it's been referred to as white flight before, but I'm hoping that we can get past that idea. This is really people who feel like their students' needs aren't being met that are leaving our district. And I feel like there's something that we should be doing about it. And we've talked before about whether it's paraprofessionals or after-school support or tutors or whatever it is. And as a parent, I feel like I've heard a number of times what won't work and what we can't do. And so I feel like I'm ready to hear now what the plan is. What can we do? What will we do to make sure that not only families stop leaving our district because they feel like their kids' needs aren't being met, but also meeting the educational needs of every one of our students.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Let's go to item 12, reports, correspondence, discussion items. 12.1, California School Dashboard Local Indicators. Superintendent.
So the state collects a lot of data from a variety of sources to meet the requirements of the LCFF statute. And a lot of the data is gathered from our student information system. So it's like our academic achievement data, our suspension data, our expulsion data. But there's some data that is not collected through those systems. And so those we have to, as a local school district, come up with what are called local indicators. I want to show you an example of what the California School Dashboard report is going to look like for parents. So you look at towards the top on the left, it says list of state indicators. Those are all the things, the information that we will be provided by the state. So that's already been preloaded into the California School Dashboard. However, down below where it says list of local indicators, those are the 4 priorities that we do not have information from the state for. So as a school district, and school districts all over California, we have to come up with the measurements of how we're going to, from year to year, look at our progress in those 4 priorities. So there's only 2 things that we have to do right now to be in compliance. The first is that you as a board has to know what our local indicators are going to be. And the second thing is that we then have to upload those local indicators into the school dashboard. So once I presented these tonight, then tomorrow I should be able to upload them into the system. If we've done those 2 things, those are the only things that we have to do to be considered met. So you're either not met or you're met in this very first year. So we will be able to click that we are met, and that will show up for parents when it's published in December. So by law, before December 1st, you as a board has to approve those things, or not approve, but see those things. So in your board packet, I put down their samples, and this is available to you for the public, as far as what we're measuring for those 4 items. For basics, the implementation of state standard, or academic standards, parent engagement, and local plans.
So now, are those things that we came up with?
Those are things that I worked with Nicole and Craig to come up with, yes, and how we're going to measure them. They may change a little bit from year to year since it's the first year. For example, for this year, we're using the Healthy Kids survey for the local climate survey. I would like to have a survey developed by us that we use that I think might be more appropriate in the future. So we can change them, we just have to change them in the survey dashboard.
Okay, so the local, those 4 things, basics, implementation, those are on.
Pardon?
The we created those 4.
No, that's just an example. In your packet are the 4 that we've created.
They changed from.
Yes.
So each district is going to have something different?
Every district can come up with their own. That's
So
what
it's
they're called local.
apples and oranges?
Yes. Yeah. In that particular area, it is apples and oranges. Yeah. And remember, what's different about this system compared to the old system is you're measuring your own growth year to year. You're not trying to compare yourself with other districts. That's very new for California. So we're just measuring us against ourselves to look at where our growth is, or where our areas of growth should be.
Okay.
Questions about it?
I'm just curious, so then they came up with how they're going to measure it.
Right.
And then you have to tell the state, this is what we do now. And they approve it like that.
Correct. Right now, they just want to know what you're using to measure. And then from year to year, we'll be able to measure our growth.
So this is all work in progress?
It's work in progress.
Okay.
And the state thinks they're going to be able to publish this in December. So once they publish it, it'll be open to the public, and then I'll have Lucy Evans come in and talk to the board about as far as our scores and all of those things.
You said you're taking the surveys from the surveys this year. Is that the parent survey as well?
No, we just use the student. And that's one of the things we talked about is the parent portion of the Healthy Kids survey is very cumbersome. So we would like to develop something that's easier for parents to fill out. It's extremely cumbersome. That's good information, but it takes a long time to fill out.
At least resistance.
Well, you want input from you. If it's too
information.
cumbersome, nobody will fill it out.
We'll do it. Anything else? Any questions? All right, moving on. 12.2, culinary program update, Mr. Ed Burke. Good to see you, sir.
Oh, thank you. It's always a pleasure. Remember this Just one moment. Perfect.
Start it over? You don't have
This,
to use
ladies
this.
and gentlemen, is why I teach culinary arts. The knife in my hand, I'm great. The votes, that's incredible. All right, so thank you and welcome to Culinary Calistoga and the November 2017 Board Update. I'm pleased as punch to have pictures from our actual class. Something I want to share with you, I'm an absolutely awful photographer. So I'm pleased to have guests who took great pictures, we can include them in our board reports. So thank you to our fabulous guests. This is from our midterm exam, and I'd love to point out the look of panic on this particular student's face. That is exactly what we want our midterm exam, a little bit of concern. Are we gonna finish this thing? And then they do, it's so incredibly magical. So that is.
Other way. Here we go.
Sorry, can we do that one more time? I think I finally figured out how to do this thing. Perfect. So one of our selling points for our final exam last year was students came up with a menu and they had to sell me on this menu. So we went through the rules of salesmanship. A student came forward and said, Mr. Burke, I want to do deep fried Oreos. So I said, okay, just fair warning, I despise deep fried Oreos, so you're going to have to do a really good job of selling me on it. And he did. He really worked it out. He said, Mr. Burke, do you want us to be excellent? I said, yes. Do you want us to demonstrate lateral thinking and professionalism? I said, yes. Do you want us to feel a little bit of danger? I was like, of course. This is deep fried Oreos, Mr. Burke. And we did. They were awesome. So for our midterm and our final exam, students have to present their work. It's not just enough they make good food, they have to describe it and sound professional. So this is one of our graduating seniors from last year, Michael Lincoln, discussing our cheese platter. Well, I think those are looks of longing from Mr. Wyckoff. Yes, we're going to have some of this cheese. So that was a lot of fun. We always focus on food safety. As I like to remind people, it wasn't that long ago, I had to remind students to wash their hands. So we're now offering a Serve Safe certification at a manager level, and we're offering at cost to students. So we can offer for $36. That's the cost it takes to buy the exam. If you went to another nonprofit, it goes for about $150. So it's an amazing opportunity. We haven't had any takers yet, but I think towards the end of the school year, they're thinking about jobs and backgrounds. So one of our biggest points about this class is professionalism. What I love about this picture is the absolutely intense focus that each of these students has. They are doing about 30 different things at once. There's a lot of chaos, there's crying a little bit, and it's just fabulous. So the professionalism that students are demonstrating is absolutely tremendous. One of our conversations, the best compliment that I can do, is to say, hey chef, do you want a job? Do you want to start a pizza business? If your pizza's that good, let me fund you. And they laugh, but I would really do it because they made such an amazing product. We can build stuff, we can do a lot of things. Professionalism is absolutely fabulous. So one of our biggest focuses is going to be fundraising. We want to come up with a crazy adventure. So I went to students and said, hey, would you like to go to a restaurant? Everyone said, sure. Would you like to go to an expensive restaurant? Oh, Mr. Burke said, no, we're going to make money, and then we're going to raise funds so we can go out and experience great food. Because if you look at the top chefs in the world, the number one thing they all have in common is at some point in their life, they went on a culinary adventure, and they got hooked, and that brought them into the fold. So we are currently working on a proof of concept for empanadas and hand pies. So we've made a really good stuff. So we're doing proof of concept. Will it sell? Is this a good product? Is this something we can make? Can we make that at a high level? So we had students make chocolate hand pies, which I gotta say, on paper, not the best idea. In practice, though, it was incredible. I really enjoyed it. We made some empanadas that were absolutely fantastic. They're all hand foods. We can sell them at games around campus. So there's an opportunity for us to really get some traction and really do well. All the while, our students are being very critical of their work. Hey, I feel like this hand pie needs more filling. I love that. I feel like this empanada is a little bit dry. Fabulous. Let's work on it. And this is something that's kind of fun. We want to encourage students to take on ambition. We want them to recognize that the best things in life are things you have to struggle and work towards. So when we start this company, we have to have an executive chef. We need sous chefs. We need project leaders. We need staff this as you would a job. And so students stepped forward. It was fabulous. We had conversations about management styles. You know, my management style, I like to yell, Mr. Burke. It's like kindred spirit. I love to yell too, but is it effective? Let's find out. So we're having a great conversation about managing roles in our company, and students are stepping forward. It is a great tool for engagement. We have a lot of students who feel like they're not engaging in school, but now they have something that feels like a job. And I can take this and go to my work and do the same thing and be successful. It's fabulous. I love this picture because it demonstrates meat squash. This is Evan, who's making our butternut squash soup. He's got all of his ingredients prepped right next to us within arm's reach. Meat squash means everything in place. It is also an incredibly basic tattoo that culinary art students like to get to show off our culinary crew. So meat squash is something we reiterate upon frequently. It's also the most transferable skill set. Business Insider, for about a year, kept talking about meat squash and how chefs would go to large companies to talk about being prepared and planning things ahead and how successful any business is. So incredibly transferable and fabulous. This year, we noticed that, last year we noticed that during certain times of the year, students would get sick. I'm sure parents probably picked up on this. There's times of year their students should get sick. So because we have a functioning commercial kitchen, we had a tough position. If you're sick, you can't come into our commercial kitchen, you might make everyone on campus sick. Oh no. So we bought induction burners, like the one in this picture, that enable us to bring our kitchen and some heating elements that are totally flameless and safe out in the multi-purpose room. So if you're not feeling well, no problem. We're gonna make some pancakes and omelets, all we're gonna eat. And then we're gonna wash everything thoroughly because food safety. So we now have students who can participate even though they're not the best. It's absolutely fabulous. And because we're a first period class, we are doing a lot of breakfast. A lot of breakfast. I'm a little bit burnt out on pancakes, but they keep assuring me that they have a new twist they have to try every single day. So that's fabulous. We are returning with Galadriel and the beer vinegar. So unfortunately, Galadriel sailed west. Euphemism for a dive over the summer. On vacation, it didn't do so well. So we're reintroducing students to beer vinegar. And the idea that we can go very far in preparation. We don't have to go to the store to buy vinegar. Let's make our own vinegar. It's going to be delicious. And Fianor is our best class pet. We had a great conversation about why we take care of starters, what that's going to mean for us later. And it's a great transferable lesson. So prep ahead, prepare now for things that will come to benefit months from now. That's pretty much all we're going to mention. So thank you very much. Do you have any questions, concerns, or comments?
No, just I'm happy because seeing all these nice things.
I tell you what, the one drawback of this class is when we make cookies and everyone makes a batch of cookies, yes, it's the nicest problem to have. I have to eat 16 cookies minimum every time I make cookies. Not a bad thing, but I feel your pain. Absolutely.
Great. Any questions? Great, thanks. Appreciate it. 12.3, CES Principal Report. Nicole?
Good evening, everyone. Wanted to, last time we met, which was, I believe, an emergency meeting, because we had to reschedule, it was on a Friday afternoon. Wanted to update you as to what happened with our plan moving forward with school being out for 2 weeks and then coming back together. First of all, just really want to thank the district support that we received, also the support we had from Helen Bass and Michelle Craig Morales in training the staff and getting them ready. The staff, upon student return, had some welcoming student engagement and welcoming ideas for them to do. We did have crisis counseling. We initially did not have as many people need to take advantage of the crisis counseling, but it was definitely appreciated because we did have students take advantage of it. And ultimately, the crisis counselor who did debrief with our staff both days said that she really sensed that students were just really glad to be, again, part of the community, and that showed with being glad to be back at school, being back in the routines. We have not said, oh, this is now resolved. We still are keeping feelers out for our community because we have people who are what we call experiencing the new normal, whether it's loss of a house, continued damage on property, or economic realities of being out of work that long. So we have been using our school-based counseling to address those needs. Then the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is our Halloween event. We had about 50% of our students wear costumes. We were able to get a costume closet going with a week turnaround and 1 week turnaround. And I want to thank Jen Frutel, and I also want to thank Officer Sam Arlen, who was able to bring in new costumes. We still have some costumes left, and so we want to inventory those and get those ready for next year. We have some ideas moving forward, and hopefully with a little more time next year, we can utilize the costume closet. But we had about 40 students who came and got new costumes, plus other members of the community as well. Our safety carnival went really well. We used the new Boys and Girls Club site, and it's really a large facility, and we had about the same numbers as last year, but they were accommodated better in the larger space, and also it wasn't raining, so that was kind of nice as well. We also had our ELAC meeting last week. And this was after we had missed our October meeting due to the evacuations and closure. We did get a volunteer from representing ELAC to serve on our school site council, so I will be getting that election in the newsletter. And then also, we did talk about, and it was alluded to, or brought up today during public comments, the issues that we're having with the tutoring program, and there are a couple of challenges that were mentioned, and some additional challenges that we're having is that with the Boys and Girls Club no longer on our campus, the power hour that we used to have with teacher involvement is no longer happening. ELAC has raised money to help with some kind of tutoring program, but we do have challenges in terms of having models to look at, and I know that it's difficult. The good news is that we have a unique funding formula. The bad news is we have a unique funding formula. So with that stated, what I did is we reached out to Erin to try to look for some models from schools that are like ours, because basically tutoring falls under just intervention in general. Like, what do you do to support students who are having difficulty learning with first instruction? And so we are going to be reaching out to those schools to find out what they're doing, because we do want to support our students. So we are really excited about our new model of having our PTA and ELAC on the same day. Many of our PTA parents stayed and participated in really supporting all of our students and how we can move as a community.
Any questions? Okay. Moving on. We're going to go 12.4 and then we can pray. I haven't forgotten about you, even though you're in line there. So you're next up.
I just want to say that Wednesday was a great fundraiser for the high school, and I really appreciate the community coming out for our students, and the money that was raised. It was fabulous. Some of the things I've talked about in my board report, I won't go over in great detail because you can read that on your own, but just ensuring academic excellence for all students. We are in the process of generating a comprehensive assessment plan for our school 712. We didn't have one in the past, and we feel like it's really important that we do. To really know year by year what our students know and can be able to do, and then how we as educators can basically adjust to make sure we are meeting those students' needs and celebrating their successes, and then recognizing areas of growth and how we go about tackling them. So we'll be presenting that to our staff at our next PD day in November, and then getting input from them, and hopefully bring it back to your board so you can take a look at that. Our CTE teachers have been meeting. As you know, we have quite a few CTE pathways for a very small school. Pathways in health and sciences and medical technology, which is our biotech, culinary chemistry of alternative energy, building trades and constructions, physics of alternative energy. And so they're meeting, they're developing a plan, which is going to need some input and approval from you as a board. And I believe we've asked them to the next board meeting to present. So they will be here, our CTE teachers. Another thing that, another group is our science teachers. We need to start getting in more compliance with what the state of California with next generation science standards. And what they recommend is that every student take 3 years of science. And currently our students are only required to take 2 years. It doesn't mean that our students just take 2 years, because the majority of students do take 3 and even 4 years of science. But to be in line, we need to really take a look at our board policies and list that our science teachers will be coming with a proposal at our future meeting today. Our PSAT exams, and big kudos to Ms. Craig Morales, because, and Ms. Server, we were going to cancel them the Wednesday after we returned, and we felt like getting back to normal was important, and these students were looking forward to it. It was supposed to happen during the time when we were gone, and we were required to send back the exams to College Board in a timely manner. It all took place, and we were able to get the new exams, and they did take it on the Wednesday when we came back. So we had all our juniors in the gym who signed up, and they were taking the PSAT. That was exciting. I think we've communicated. If we didn't, hopefully our community will tell us, but we felt like we did a good job of communicating during the fire, and we're present for our staff and our students, letting them know what was going on. I felt that the first day back, I think we talked about it that night, which was a board meeting. Hopefully the students felt welcome back in the gym and in advisory classes. And then the next thing is the Dream App application, the race to submit. I would like to announce that we far exceed St. Helena High School and any of the Annapolis high schools with the number of students who have completed the FAFSA at 59%. And all that is due in part by Ms. Carla Serber, who met on a Sunday, was here, and also to one of our ACE workers who hopefully approved as one of our JV coaches. Alex came in, and because he's bilingual, he's also an engineering grad. He worked in the engineering field and felt like he wanted to come back and serve his country, so he came back as a miracle worker. So he was there too, and so Ms. Serber is determined to get 100% done, and she's not going to rest until that happens. So we've had some post-secondary options available with transfer day this September, UC admissions, and then Cal Maritime came to speak about the English and math placements within CSU. Very important. It's all part of the SBAC now. So, and then also to taking some kids over to the college and career technical education departments and having them look at the different certificate tracks. There's so many different certificate tracks, from starting at LBN, going up to RN, even nurse, a CNA, and then over in the industrial arts area, welding and things like that. So Carlos can take small groups over who are interested in seeing those pathways, and because we're finding a good partnership also not only with Napa Valley College, but also with San Junior College. And then, as Mark will tell you where he is right now, he's in Kalamazoo, Michigan, along with Ms. Serber and Vivi Agapoff. And so they're learning a little bit about the Promise Program there. And so that's an exciting new adventure for our school. And Carla also met with 10,000 Degrees. In the past, they have not given any money to Calistoga, and they are a large contributor of scholarships within Marin and Sonoma. But I think she's done her best to convince them they can start thinking about our school as an area to give for scholarships. So that's really exciting too. About after-school tutoring, I completely agree that we could do more for our students, and how that works. We need to really have some serious conversations about that. Currently now, we have quite a few teachers who stay after school till late 5, Ms. Fung is here till 5:30 every day, and giving up their time to help tutor our kids. Our library is open with the help of one of our paraprofessionals, Judy Gonzalez. She stays after school and works with our students who are EL students in there. And then our AmeriCorps workers and our here after school via ACE. And then at the high school level, Alex is working with our students in science and math. So, but we do need more to meet with our students. So I want to say publicly, I appreciate all the staff who stay after school and give up their time, extra time to work with our students.
Great, thank you, Craig. Any questions?
Just for clarification, after school program, senior high school, we do have a county office of education, right? Okay. And then the power hour was a collaboration between the school district and most of the school. Is that?
It was, but it was financed through the business.
It was financed?
Yes.
So the only thing we finance as a district is Judy Gonzalez time for school. The teachers, of course, give them time. Just volunteer.
Thanks, Craig. All right, student, you got the mic, student rep.
ASB would like to thank the community and everyone who supported our student body during homecoming week. Thank you to the parents that helped with float making and driving the cars during the parade. We would also like to thank the community who came out to support our Wildcats during the parade and football game. Congrats to the Calistoga Wildcats for winning the game that was scored 86-56. The Calistoga student body would also like to thank all administrators and staff for their support and warm welcome after the wildfires. ASB is in the process of planning a thank you event that will include our local first responders, police, and local officials. We are all happy and thankful to be back in school.
Well, thank you. And 86-56, that was football, right? Not basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the,
By the way, 3 of our teams made it to the second round of postseason. Unfortunately, one on Saturday.
yeah.
The Steelers was Mendocino, and this ball maker was doing a job. Teams are really good job being
Wasn't our JV volleyball champions?
Yes, they were.
Oh, really?
Well,
They were. We have a really good turnout.
Okay, moving on. 12.6, superintendent.
So I completed the 90-day plan for transitioning into my position last month, and I focused a great deal of my time on holding individual conversations. I actually met with 102 staff members, community leaders, parents, and then a couple students as well. I had told everybody that I was meeting with them that my conversations were confidential, but that I took a lot of notes and that I would be reporting out to the board about just my general findings. And then I would share this with both of our school staffs as well. So I'll start at the top. I just asked 3 questions of everybody, and of course those conversations expanded on these particular questions. But the first one was I asked what was the best thing about the district? What did they want to maintain in our district? And you can see part of everything else, people said over and over that staff are very supportive of our students and kids. So that's something this district should be very, very proud of. Secondly, lots of comments about what a close-knit community, not just the school community is, but Calistoga in general. Lots of compliments about our respectful students, and I concur. I had nothing but good interactions with the students when I met them. And then over and over, people talked about how fortunate we are to be a community-funded district, meaning that we have a lot of resources that other districts don't necessarily have. And then under other, those are just 20 comments that they were not repeated. They were individual comments, so I did not list all of those. The second question I ask is, what's the biggest challenge facing our district? Part of the concern was about poor communication, meaning not just within the district, but communication outside to the community as well. The district culture, there was some concern that the district culture could become more positive than it has been. There was concern also about the lack of instructional technology, or the instructional technology that we have is not necessarily working for
then there was concerns about the achievement gap, which you heard that concern expressed tonight by our parents. And then the district's paraprofessional positions has been reduced over the last few years, and so that was also brought up by and then 56 other people had different comments. So again, I didn't list all of those. And then when I asked the question about where should my attention be focused in this first year, overwhelmingly they want the culture to be a positive culture where everybody works together, meaning both the school setting and the district office working as one team. And then again, providing interventions for underperforming students. So you're hearing that not just tonight, but from staff and parents from the survey. And then establishing relationships with the community. That was brought up over and over that we need to celebrate what we're doing as a district, and then also bring the community in more into our programs. Then we're more setting a common vision, and that's something that, as a board, we can certainly address. And then the last thing there, improving communication, again, throughout the district and the entire community. So what I will do at the next meeting is come back to you and tell you how I intend to address those. Some of them we've already started addressing. The communication, I hope you've been noticing we're working on that with our new Facebook pages, thanks to Paula, and then also our district newsletter, which we're also pushing out to staff and the community. Paula's responsible person, so much that so we've started working on some of those things, but we have ways to go as well. And I will not continue, I will keep meeting with people. I have some that have already called me and said they were sorry that they hadn't got a chance to also express their views, so I will follow up with those staff members and parents. I also want to compliment the elementary school staff, Nicole, the PTA, the Boys and Girls Club. I know this was a first as far as Halloween celebration. It's the first one we've done in a long time, and it's always a mystery, right? New things, and I heard nothing but really good comments about it. So thank you for the efforts. And then I also wanted to publicly thank DCA Architects. They have donated $150 gift cards to our families who lost their homes. And then they also are purchasing Thanksgiving meals for 5 families who need them, which will be identified by the Family Center. And then I was able to accept 5 $500 gift cards from Senator Michael McGuire. He's working with the North Bay Family, North Bay Fire Relief Fund. And so our families who lost their homes will also get an additional $100 gift card. Those are being delivered today and tomorrow to this family. So I just appreciate the generosity, not just within the community, but outside the community to support our families.
Well, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate all your hard work in your first 90 days. All right, moving on to item 13, consent calendar. This requires a roll call vote. Action proposed for the consent agenda are deemed routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless any member of the board, audience, or staff request specific items be removed from the consent agenda for separate action. Looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I motion.
Second? Yeah, no, I couldn't hear it. He said.
He said motion, but Mark, can you second?
I second.
Second, perfect. Way to go. All in favor? Aye. And this is a roll call vote. Clerk Falcon? Trustee Lopez? Trustee Reed? Aye. Trustee Galindo?
Aye.
Student Rep Ross? And President Maxfield? Aye. All right, 14.0, action items. Protocol for action items includes a staff presentation, questions from the board, public input, deliberation by the board, and voting by the board. During public input, there will be a 3-minute time limit per person. And we're starting off with 14.1, AB 1200 disclosures, California School Employees Association.
So anytime we settle with a bargaining unit, we are supposed to make disclosures to prove that we can sustain those costs for the next 3 years. So this and the next action item, this is for our school employees and this is for our confidential change management. And this form is provided by the county, and we submit it to them as well. So this is for the next 2 to 3 years, actually.
And this is a recommendations to request to ratify the California School Employees Association public disclosure. And this is a roll call vote. Motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call vote. Clerk Elfisham. Trustee Lopez. Trustee Reed. Trustee Galindo.
Aye.
And Student Rep Ross. And President Maxfield. Aye. Okay, 14.2, AB 1200 disclosure, management confidential. So,
Same, yeah, same form, and if anything changes, we will meet again. We settle this.
and recommendations to request to ratify the management confidential public disclosure notification. Looking for a motion? Here. All in favor? Aye. Roll call vote again. Clerk Elfisham. Trustee Lopez. Trustee Reed. Trustee Galindo.
Aye.
Student Rep Rojas. And President Maxfield. Aye. 14.3, tentative agreement between Calistoga Joint Unified School District and the California School Employees Association.
So this is the actual tentative agreement that was reached between the district and the CSEA.
And request to accept the CSEA tentative agreement as presented. Need a motion? Indira? All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call. Clerk Elfisham. Trustee Lopez. Trustee Reed. Trustee Galindo.
Aye.
Student Rep Rojas. And President Maxfield. Aye. All right. 14.4, agreement with Education Leadership Solutions LLC. ELS will be providing consulting services to our facilities department for the 17-18 school year.
I believe these services would be beneficial to the department.
Okay, recommendations to accept the agreement as presented. So this is a roll call vote. All in favor, or the motion?
I move for the
Matt seconds, all in favor? Aye. Okay, roll call vote. Clerk Elfisham. Trustee Lopez. Trustee Reed. Trustee Galindo.
Aye.
Student Rep Ross. And President Maxfield. All right. Item 15, board calendar. Next meeting is December 4th. 6 p.m. here, then Monday, January 28th. Or 8th, yeah. Excuse me. Get ahead. Upcoming events and activities, item 16, November 10th is Veterans Day, Missouri Middle School, 20th to 24th Thanksgiving, and November 30th to the 2nd CSBA Annual Conference in San Diego. 17, tentative future agenda, Yosemite presentation, that's always a good one. And Promise Net, where Mr. Galindo is right now. It'd be interesting to hear what you have to say, Mark. Item 18, we don't need to reconvene. And I'm looking for the favorite of the week, number 20. I need a second. And Derek, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.